Hello and welcome to Drop the Mic Podcast, where we discuss technology, theology, and all things in between. I want to personally thank you for joining us today. Now sit back, relax, share this, engage with the podcast that's already in progress. God bless you.
One thing Sean Cannell from Think Media always says is with his YouTube videos, he's always looking at how can this video get 1% better with every single video. Now that could be a little bit better of a thumbnail, a little bit better of a title, a little better description, better video editing within the video. And so with your church's sermons, I think we're so quick to get on an assembly line. This is what we do. But I think as a part of that assembly line, I think it's important to build those systems and processes, but it's like, how do we get 1% better every single week? Welcome to the Social Media Church Podcast. I'm Nils Smith, joined by the great DK Hammonds. DK, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, brother. Michael Jordan is the greatest of all times.
It's hard to argue with that. I just watched though, and the Olympics will be probably far past when this gets published.
Yep.
But I just watched the game yesterday, Team USA, and boy, Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant on the same court is something special.
It is.
But that said, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time.
And I know somebody's going to get in the chat talking about LeBron this and LeBron that. I'm a Laker fan. I've been with LeBron for a long time. Respect what he has done. His jersey will be retired as a Laker. A statue will be erected in his name. And he is still not the greatest of all time. Yeah, I'm good with
it. Not even the greatest Laker of all time.
No, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest Laker of all time.
I think Kobe could challenge that.
But it's Kareem. It's always been Kareem. It's Kareem. It is Shaq, and then it is Kobe.
Wow. I mean, I maybe would have gone Kareem or Kobe, then Magic Johnson, then Magic Johnson / Kobe, and then LeBron.
Man, LeBron is, he's not the greatest of all time. He's the greatest of this era.
Yep.
But he's not. Yeah.
Now, as a Spurs fan, I got to say, I can't wait to see if Wemby can stay healthy. He's got like the size, he could do everything at like 7'24" or however tall he is, and he's pretty fun to watch as well. But today we're talking about the greatest social network of all time, and that is YouTube. YouTube is where it's at. A lot of our conversations have been centered around YouTube because that's where we're seeing the greatest ROI for churches on social media right now. And there's two things and features that I think are important to focus in on, DK. The first is YouTube Shorts. And YouTube, everyone is kind of fighting for this and has been fighting for the TikTok attention that has been, kind of coming out of the pandemic and how popular TikTok got. And then you see Facebook and Instagram prioritizing Reels, and now YouTube prioritizing Shorts. Now YouTube is interesting. TikTok has allowed their videos to get longer and pushed for longer form content. And now even they're doing like the turn the screen and watch horizontal videos, and they're very focused on TikTok Shop. And I think their ads are actually getting pretty annoying the way I'm experiencing on the TikTok side. And there's a lot of questions whether TikTok is going to get shut down or not. The other thing that I'm experiencing on TikTok is where I've seen TikTok be the greatest viral opportunity on the internet, where you can have like no followers and get 1 million views. My sister-in-law actually just got 1.5 million views on a video she just posted on TikTok while she was on a vacation. And she has like 200 followers on TikTok. You just never know. And you've had some viral opportunities there too. But YouTube Shorts is now I'm seeing just a lot of like, my TikToks get like 300 views every single time, you just get in this like almost right. I see the same thing on Instagram and Facebook. But YouTube is now seeing that basically that same virality with YouTube Shorts, and it's limited to 60 seconds or less, where the others are, have a lot more flexibility. But the feature on YouTube Shorts that I love the most is the feature of being able to connect YouTube Shorts to your long form content. And so you can, basically what we'll do on this video is we'll clip it up and we'll post clips on YouTube Shorts. And in that YouTube Shorts, we can clip to watch the full video here, or, however that link works. of connecting your other content to YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
I think it's a great integration of the TikTok feature and function of short form vertical video with the connection to long form, regular video, or whatever you want to call it, horizontal video. And so I love that feature. And I think churches are not taking advantage of that feature enough, or even YouTube Shorts enough, because there's so much viral opportunity there. DK, what are you seeing on the short side of
Yeah,
things?
man, on the short side, I have had great personally, and please go follow DK Hammonds on my podcast and you'll see me. But I've had great success. I think I've gotten serious about YouTube in the last 90 days, and I think I have 25,000 views thus far on YouTube. And
Love it.
90% of those views are directly from shorts.
Yep.
Now, what comes on my YouTube, I'll get to your point. What comes to my YouTube is my podcast as well as the YouTube piece. Those things.
Yep.
So for me, as a person that's YouTubing, I'm able to then attach the actual full episode down to it. Now, why is that important? Because other third party entities would normally allow you to put them directly in the chat as the first comment.
Yep.
Now, instead of having that, now you can put it directly as this video that can connect somewhere else. And I would even go and argue, if you can connect the long form video, this becomes a selling opportunity, or this becomes
Yep.
a call to action opportunity that could be connected to every single video. So,
Yep.
example, if I'm doing a video on vocation, now I can have, hey, I'm glad you had about vocation. Here's the full video. The full video is a selling opportunity or an invite to church. So now this becomes whatever you want it to be as in CTS.
Yep.
I think it's going to be an excellent opportunity for those who tap into it, those who
Yep.
are creatives and social media managers. You definitely want to get on top of that, especially for those pastors that go viral. Now you have an opportunity to go viral twice, because if they watch that clip, they're going to watch
Yep.
the whole form content.
Yep. Yeah, it's a huge opportunity if you're not taking advantage of it. And one of the tools that we've highlighted here on this podcast is sermon shots. But there's other tools like Opus Clips, if you look at my YouTube channel, there's a platform called Minvo, which is a competitor to Opus that does a great job as well. So there's lots of AI tools that can help you with this, or I think Pulpit AI now is doing the same thing. And so there are a lot of opportunities to take your content and clip it up for shorts. And you got to make sure it's under 60 seconds. That's a significant limitation, because if it's over 60 seconds, they'll end up pushing it out as a long form video in vertical format. It won't perform very well. And so you got to make sure you structure that video right when you upload it, but they are just performing really well. And that extra feature being able to, because I see people posting them, but then I'm not including, and it's a mistake naturally, DK, that even our team made for a little bit. And we caught that, we weren't always attaching the long form. And it's like, no, we got to always make sure we're attaching the long form, because you want to get that, long form engagement, which is the best engagement that you're going to get. You want to tease them with the clip. You want to get their attention, and you want that to be a full thought, but you want that teaser to bring them into the longer form and get that deeper engagement. Now, the other feature that is all often talked about on YouTube are thumbnails. And one of the things that's happened on thumbnails, and this is, I talk about Mr. Beast a lot and have done tons of research on Mr. Beast and what led to the massive success that has been his YouTube channel and the incredible growth that he saw, or his channel saw on YouTube, or channels, as he has multiple channels and multiple languages and different platforms, is the thumbnails. And one of the things that he did early on is he would, in the first hour of videos out there, he would test different thumbnails for the first hour that video is up and see which thumbnail performed best, and then stick to the top performing thumbnail when it comes to a click-through rate. And he would gain that learning and then post and leave up the best performing thumbnail for that video. And what YouTube since did is they went and they created a new feature within their platform called Test and Compare with their thumbnails. And you can upload now with every new video. I believe this is available for every channel. It was only rolled out to certain channels initially, and now I believe it's rolled out to pretty much every channel. And you can't do it after the video has been uploaded. You can only, or later on, you can only do it when the video is first uploaded. You can upload 3 thumbnails, and for 2 weeks, it will test and compare those 3 different thumbnails. It will kind of rotate between those 3, and it will see which one did people click on the most, and based on those clicks, which ones led to people watching for the longest amount of time. What they're trying to avoid is kind of bait and switch of like, if you thumbnail kind of teases this, but yet your videos show something else, they don't want it to have a good click-through rate, but then a low engagement rate. And so they're actually doing kind of using AI at the end of the day within their algorithm to decide what thumbnail is the best thumbnail to get the best engagement under your video. And I believe this is a feature that is going to take more time. I keep pushing churches, you need to prioritize your thumbnails and test different things. Every church, in my opinion, should be, even if you're just making small tweaks to those thumbnails, is uploading 3 thumbnails every single week of every sermon and learning which one does YouTube select and why did that one outperform the others, and what can you learn for your next 3 thumbnails and your next 3 thumbnails, and just keep using that feature until it no longer, I mean, I assume it's going to be there forever.
Yeah.
But that's such a great opportunity to learn, because that thumbnail is such a key in getting better engagement. It's one of the things I learned working with Transformation Church is they put so much creative investment into that thumbnail, which was a big part of the success. Now, it wasn't only you got to have great videos,
Right.
to be clear, but that thumbnail really drives engagement in a very significant way. DK, what do you see on the thumbnail side? What's your perspective on that new feature?
Yeah, man, the new feature is really, really useful. I've tried it with 2 clients, including myself, as a result of that. And so one client in particular, I created 2 thumbnails. And so what I did was I had one thumbnail that had one picture, same title. Another thumbnail was
Yep.
a picture, different color, same title. And I
Yep.
loaded those in. It literally took me every bit of 5 minutes to do that because everything
Yes.
already done. Loaded that in, and I was watching how YouTube was choosing, and I was watching
Yep.
through rates almost in real time. And then I was able to see the exact one that had the most impact. And I
Yep.
just left it up there, right?
Yep.
And so why is that important when it comes to churches and faith-based businesses, churches, is because now we can cater that thumbnail directly to the messaging. We can say
Yep.
there's a particular question that you want to ask, create a thumbnail for that. There's a statement that you made, create a thumbnail for that, and see
Yep.
which one makes most sense. Let me also say, when we have thumbnails, we need to have thumbnails that are engaging and maybe even looking at people. I find this with
Yep.
Myron Golden, having thumbnails that look directly at a person, because that
Yes.
feels like I am communicating with said person and I'm wanting to
Yep.
engage with. And so having thumbnails that are very engaging, question oriented, conflict oriented, curiosity oriented is going to get that. And then you add that to just changing a picture or
Yep.
putting a question up that is super engaging, you're going to see your numbers go through the roof just on
Yeah.
that alone.
Yeah. 100%. Any churches, DK, that you've noticed are just killing it with the thumbnail game?
I mean, the standard bearers to me, of course, you got Verdict, Elevation,
Yes.
they kill with their thumbnails.
Yes, they do.
Thumbnails are action shot oriented.
Yep.
Darius Daniels, Atlanta, Chicago, they kill with thumbnails. And he boasts to say that a lot of his members are online. So they invest in this online piece. If I'm thinking out west, I mean, you could say Saddleback, but that's kind of like standard.
Yep.
You could probably say Potter's House. They're pretty standard as well. I think another person that does really good is Fellowship Church in Dallas.
Yeah. Yep.
They kill their thumbnails, man.
Yep.
It's out of here every time.
Yep.
And usually it's an action shot that's photo oriented, that has a
Yep.
question that posing it.
Yep.
You're looking at those who are just content creators. Like I said, Myron Golden is
Yes.
one of the guys that I'm following. I think it's a guy named Omar. Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
Omar.
Out in Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, Omar is killing the game.
Yes.
So you have all those people that you can go and
Yes.
see them use these thumbnails to create
Yep.
engagement. And they're not big people per se,
Yeah.
but they are using these techniques to help them out.
Yeah, I love it. The church I'm often pointing people to look at is James River Church in Missouri. They have invested a lot, and you could see. I mean, it's a pretty. A lot of them look similar, but they found a formula to their thumbnails that works and performs really well. I mean, Transformation Church is also another one I go to. One of the trends that I have seen change that I think is a good trend, or it just works better, is a lot of times people were using full body shots for their thumbnails, but the more zoomed in it is on a facial expression,
Yes.
the more engaging those thumbnails and better they seem to perform.
Yes.
And so it's just some of those little things of go and pay attention to and learn from each other. And I think there's some, smaller church. We often, think about some of these larger churches, and they often have the resources to have a, graphic designer. But with Canva and some of these other tools, you can create really good thumbnails, or literally just go hire somebody on Fiverr.com to create your church's thumbnails for you. I actually had a guy reach out to me. It was a great sales pitch. I didn't hire him, but he just reached out to me with my personal YouTube channel and said, "Hey, I love your YouTube channel. If you ever want me to create thumbnails, here's one I created for you." And it was killer. And I sent it to my team, and I'm like, "Hey, you're already a part of our team, so I'm not going to hire him, but I would sure look at what he's doing because it's a lot better than what we're doing." There's always ways to get better. And one thing Sean Cannell from Think Media always says is with his YouTube videos, he's always looking at how can this video get 1% better with every single video. Now that could be a little bit better of a thumbnail, a little bit better of a title, a little better description, better video editing within the video. And so with your church's sermons, I think we're so quick to get on an assembly line. This is what we do. But I think as a part of that assembly line, I think it's important to build those systems and processes, but it's like, how do we get 1% better every single week?
What deals to that?
Yeah.
I hate to interrupt you, but I think
go.
I mentioned this today. I think it would be a good thing for pastors to include, yes, your creative director, but also your graphic designer in your process of thought. Because I include that person in the room, they're already a step ahead of that thumbnail, thinking what it could be. And so now I've already created the environment of which I want this to be created. I've already told you what I wanted. And now it can be a more excellent type of product versus we just flying by the seat of our pants. We're going to take a quick W and put something. No, it can be real thoughtful if we put that emphasis on.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. These are little things. We're getting into the weeds of social media today. Absolutely. But the weeds are sometimes the difference, and that Mr. Beast will say this, between 100,000 views and 1 million views. I think that focusing sometimes on, and that's where this podcast, sometimes we talk very high level and strategy, and sometimes we really get into some of the tactics of social media. And so today we're getting into those kind of two tactical opportunities on YouTube that I believe if you'll prioritize these two things, these are great opportunities to get 1% better with your YouTube channel. Now, I think this actually probably gets you closer to 10% better by prioritizing these features. And when new platforms roll out new features, it's a good opportunity. And it's something to say, like, they're probably prioritizing this in some way that it's going to help you to lean into what they're doing to optimize their platform for you, the creator. And so I think we have a great opportunity on YouTube. YouTube is the platform that I keep recommending to clients that I know you're focused on Instagram, but Instagram is more and more challenging to really get solid organic engagement on. And YouTube is the platform that I believe not just it will help you to get the best engagement today, but I think it's going to be best prepared for the future and where things are going. I am bullish on YouTube as a platform. So I just want to encourage everyone, keep leaning in to that as a platform. And I think you're going to see a lot of fruits on the backside of that. So yeah, I think that summarizes this conversation. We'd love to connect with you, engage with you, and love to have a conversation with you or have you on the podcast or answer any of your questions here on the podcast. And so we so appreciate the conversation that this conversation often helps to stir with the various conversations that we have. So let's continue the conversation online, and we'll look forward to talking to you again on the next episode. Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. My hope is that the podcast added value to your life. Please, please, please subscribe from your favorite application, leave us a review, and even follow us on YouTube for your up-to-date information. Thank you. Peace.